Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm really excited to be doing a fun little battle of the drugstore skin tints. So these two skin tints just launched at the drugstore and I was really intrigued by them. So I wanted to do a video comparing both on side by side on my face to give y'all my first impressions and thoughts on how both of these kind of work on my skin type. So I have dry to combo skin. Right now it's leaning a little bit more dry, but I do have pretty clear skin with the exception of a couple of bumps right here in my T-zone and some dry spots and pores. But for the most part, I feel like my skin is pretty decent, but I wanted to try these skin tints just because I wanted a more lightweight face for the winter months, and I wanted to test them out as well to see which ones I think might work best in the summer when you're not wanting to wear like a ton of makeup. So for me, what I look for in a skin tint is one, for it to not be greasy, two, for it to be long lasting. I know skin tints aren't always super long lasting, but like I want it to last more than 5 hours. And then three, I think I like a skin tint that has some coverage. I don't like putting something on my face that literally it doesn't look like I put anything on there. And I think a couple of skin tints I've tried, it just looks like I'm putting a layer of nothing on. So I like a little bit of coverage here and there. So I'm excited to try both of these. So later on in the video, I will show you a demo of me applying both of them. I'm gonna do one on each side of my face and then give you my first impressions and thoughts on how they perform. I was especially excited about these because they are affordable. Even though the drugstore has definitely spiked their prices up, I used to be a huge drugstore makeup person, but I feel like I kind of ventured off and was more into high-end makeup, but I am really excited to be kind of dabbling in drugstore a little bit more. They are releasing a ton of things that I'm kind of intrigued to try. So excited to test these two out. But before we get started, I did just want to give you all a little bit of a background on both products to let y'all know what their claims are before we move on to the demo portion. Okay, so the first product we'll be testing is the LOreal Lumi Glow Tint. This retails for $16.99 and it has 16 different shade ranges. So I'm really excited to test this out because I used to really love the Lumi line from L'Oreal, and I also love that it comes with a pump. It reminds me of the It Cosmetics CC cream packaging a little bit, and I feel like for $16.99 I'm okay with paying that as long as it comes with a pump, and I also like that it's easy to travel with. But let's get into some of the claims for this product. Again, I'm on the Ulta website, so just wanted to read some of those claims. So this claims to be a breathable coverage of a foundation in a lightweight water-based skin tint. It's formulated with reflective pearls, blurring pigments, and 82% hydrating serum for a healthy soft lit glow, which is really nice. I love whenever products put a little bit of skincare in their ingredients. So this claims to also provide a natural makeup result and minimizes color imperfection. It claims to be weightless texture, and it allows your skin to feel breathable and have a second skin finish. And it also claims to be easy to blend and build. This will also keep your skin feeling moisturized, not greasy, which is very important. And it evens skin for smoother looking skin. So lots of really great claims. So I'm really excited to test that out. I feel like the one thing that I'm excited to hear is that it's not greasy, because again, I feel like some skin tints can be greasy. So we'll test that out in just a bit. But the other product that we'll be testing out is the Nyx Buttermilk Glaze Soft Glow Skin Tint. So here's what the packaging looks like. This one also retails for $16 and it does not have a pump. It just has one of these little applicators, which I don't hate, but it would be nice to have a pump because if you're paying $16, at least give me a pump. But I feel like it's pretty in line with the Nyx, brand. It's usually a little bit higher priced. So let's take a look at what the claims are for this one. So this one doesn't have as many shade ranges. This one only has 10. The L'Oreal one has 16, which is a bummer. I feel like this Nyx one, it doesn't really have, I feel like, a good shade range at all. Even the lighter skin tone or the lighter skin colors are really hard to pick from. So I got this one in the shade Cashew Butter number 3. And then if I didn't tell y'all what I got this one in, I got it in 130 Warm. Let's get into some of the claims for the Nyx one. So this claims to go from skin that's looking dull to skin that's giving glaze. It says that you'll be looking better than ever with this 93% skincare tint infused with shea butter, mango butter, and niacinamide. So again, really great products in the ingredients. It says that it's also non-greasy and it leaves the skin smooth and protected, and it also has no white cast and even resist fading for a soft glow glazed look. It also has an SPF of 30, which is great, but you should still be wearing your own SPF. I feel like I never really look for products that have SPF included because I wear my own, but it's always, you know, it's a nice little added bonus. This also claims to wear up to 12 hours, and it has, again, 10 different shades. So lots of different claims. I feel like both of these obviously have skincare ingredients, which I think a lot of brands are doing these days, which is, you know, it's great, but let's put them to the test just to see how they work on my skin tone, and then I'll give y'all my final thoughts on both of these at the end of the video. Okay, so I went ahead and removed all of my face makeup, and I'm gonna try the L'Oreal Lumi on this side of my face, on the right side, and the NYX Butter Glaze on the left side, and we'll kind of see how both compare, you know, upon first application. So let's go ahead and start with the L'Oreal Lumi. So again, it does come with a pump, and it does say to shake it up because it is a water-based skin tint or foundation. So I'm just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna apply it on my hands. So upon first application, it is pretty watery, so that's one thing to notice, but I think that's just part of the type of product that it is. And I'm going to use my Morphe by L'Oreal A24. One thing also is I did get the wrong color. This is way too light for me. I wish I would have picked up a different color. So let's not look at the color. We're just looking at the application of the product. So also I don't have a primer because I wanted to just see how it looked on my bare skin. I just have a moisturizer underneath. So let's go ahead and start applying here. So upon first application, there isn't a scent. That's one thing. If you are, you know, sensitive to scents, it doesn't really smell like anything. And it does apply very luminous. Like, I don't know if you can tell how luminous it already looks. So that's one thing to note as well. It's a very luminous product, but obviously it says that in the name. So I didn't expect anything other than that. And it is providing pretty good coverage, to be honest. You know, I have a little bit of redness right here, and it is doing a really good job of covering that up. But I do notice it is a little difficult to blend it right here in the, like, by my nose and my mouth. So I'm kind of gonna pat a little bit more here to make sure that it blends. I want to make sure I don't get it on the NYX side, but that is what the first application looks like. I think I just had a little bit of trouble right here in this area, and I'm still feeling like it's not blending how I want it to. So I'm just gonna take my fingers and maybe help blend it out a little bit more. It obviously is very light for me. I don't think this is my shade at all, but we'll just kind of work with what we got. And so this is what one application looks like. I think it did a really good job of evening out my skin tone, covering, you know, a couple of the imperfections I don't like. The only thing is it is catching on a lot of my dry patches right here in my nose area. So I don't love that. But overall, it doesn't look too bad. So I think what I'll do now is add another layer just to see how much we can build this up. I think that it actually provides pretty good coverage for a skin tint. So I would leave it like this probably, but just for, you know, testing purposes, let's test that out. And I think this time I'm going to use just my beauty blender just to see how it applies the second time around. It also feels very lightweight. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything on your skin, which is nice. It obviously does claim to be lightweight, and I do feel that. It doesn't feel greasy at all, like at all. So that's nice. It's shiny. I mean, it's obviously luminous, not shiny. That's not the right word. It is luminous, but definitely not greasy at all. So that is what 2 layers look like. I feel like this is one of those products that really has good coverage, but I don't think you can build it up too much. I mean, it's obviously a skin tint, so it's meant to be a lot more lightweight. I really like how it looks. I think just right here, I'm not loving how it's catching on to certain parts of my skin. That may just be a me problem, to be honest. I think I just have a lot of dryness on that part of my skin right now. But other than that, I think this Looks really nice. It looks luminous, not greasy, and overall I think it looks really pretty. So let's go ahead and try the NYX Butter Glaze on this side of my skin and see how that compares to the L'Oreal. So for the NYX side, I've cleaned off my hand a little bit, and I'm also going to shake this one just to make sure that the product is mixed just fine. This one claims to have a soft glow, so I'm interested to see how much of that is true, like if it's less shiny. And this one isn't as watery as the L'Oreal one. I feel like it has more of a thicker consistency, so I do like that. I don't mind watery products. Sometimes it just can be a little bit annoying. For this one, I'm going to use my Dibs double-sided foundation brush. I think this is their foundation and blush brush. I'm not sure. It doesn't have a number to it, but it is just one of their like really popular brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and also mix this into my hand to warm it up, move my hair a little bit, and see how this one applies. This one I think is a little bit closer to the color of my skin tone. So I'm happy about that. So don't mind the different colors because they obviously are two very different colors, but off first glance, I will say this is a very scented product. It smells kind of like a mix of sunscreen and a pina colada. It smells good to me, but I feel like if you don't like scented products, you're not gonna like this because it's like really, really scented. It really smells like, I mean, it smells good, but it's super scented. So like you can see here, just off the bat, this one I feel like automatically I can tell doesn't provide as much coverage as the L'Oreal one does. It goes on a lot more natural. I feel like it's true to its name. It's more of a skin tint. I feel like the L'Oreal could pass as a very lightweight foundation, which obviously they do say that that's one of the claims. So I do believe that, but this one is also going on really nicely. I like the glow that it's giving. It's kind of like more of a natural glow, where this one looks a little more luminous. But I don't mind this at all. It's light, but I feel like if you're looking for a skin tint, that's probably what you're wanting, a more lightweight base product. So that is one layer of the product. So as you can see, like this side has a lot more coverage. This one is a lot lighter. So let's add another layer just to see how this one looks. And I'll do the same. I'll apply it with my Beauty Blender the second time just to see how that applies. I actually don't mind that this doesn't have a pump. I kind of like the thin little applicator. So don't mind that, but still kind of pricey for it being $16. Okay, so I'm applying this one with the Beauty Blender now. And honestly, it is like, you can still definitely see my skin right here. Like you can still see my redness kind of peeking through, but it's not catching in to any of my dry spots at all. Whereas this side does catch on to a lot of my dry spots here. So that's just one thing to know. I have dry spots on this side and it's not catching on like at all whatsoever. So I do like that. But that's what two layers of the NYX one looks like. So I don't think that this is one of those products you can build up. Like you're definitely gonna just have to apply concealer because you can still see like redness on the side of my nose as well. It's truly, I think, what a skin tint is meant to do, mostly just kind of even out your skin tone, and it does look really natural. I kind of like the glow of this one. It looks a lot more natural, whereas the Lumi, I feel like you can tell that it has like products in the ingredients that cause that luminosity, where this one I feel like is a little bit more natural, which I kind of like. This side also doesn't feel greasy at all. I feel like it feels very lightweight. I don't feel it on my skin. And yeah, so that is my first impressions just off the bat. I thought I was gonna like the Lumi side a lot more because of the added coverage. But now that I'm just looking at myself in the viewfinder and just overall looking at how my skin looks, I do really like the NYX one. It's a lot more natural. Like it kind of looks like it's just my skin, but I actually really like that. I feel like if I'm looking for a more heavy coverage foundation, I would just use one of my foundations. So I think this one is just the L'Oreal one is just very luminous, but I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup and see how both of them work with my makeup. And then I will come back on to give you my final thoughts on both of these products to let you know which one I prefer and recommend you pick up. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup, and overall, I think my thoughts are that both of these products are pretty good. I feel like if you're looking for a new skin tint, especially an affordable one, I definitely feel like these are two really good options. I know I have a preference. I thought I was going to like one more than the other, but I actually changed my mind as I was doing the rest of my makeup. So I wanted to just go through what my thoughts are on each one and then give you my final thoughts. So as far as the L'Oreal Lumi goes, I think this is a nice product. I really like how it does have that buildable coverage where you can get a little bit more from the product as opposed to the NYX side. The only thing I really didn't like was the fact that I was really having a difficult time just blending it out around this area of my mouth, and then just it getting caught on a lot of my dry spots. Now that could just be me. I have dry skin, but it's not that dry where I feel like it should be breaking apart here. Another thing I noticed was that it is breaking apart right here as well, which I don't like when that happens. And then I can see that it's gotten caught right here in the middle of my nose. But that's really the only thing I noticed. I do think that this is a very luminous product. So if you're someone who's oily, I don't think you're gonna like this unless you really do enjoy having that very luminous skin. For me personally, as I've gotten older, I don't love a very luminous product because I think it sinks into my pores a lot more than I want to emphasize. But it is nice. This is what the L'Oreal Lumi side looks like with all of my makeup on. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. I think though in the summer, this would probably not be something I could wear in Texas. It would just be a grease ball, to be honest. But it does feel very lightweight, nice coverage. Again, I just don't love kind of how it breaks apart right down here in my nose and like mouth area. But other than that, I think it's pretty nice. Now, the next one I thought wasn't going to be one that I really liked. I thought that it was just going to be like, upon first application, it just didn't look like it was really covering much. But I actually really like how it evened out my skin tone and has a very like pretty natural finish to it. It does have a soft glow. It's not super luminous like the L'Oreal one. And I really like that. I feel like if you're looking for a skin tint that does exactly what a skin tint should do and has that additional benefits of having an SPF and having some skincare, then I think you would really like the NYX side. It played really well with the rest of my makeup, I think. Let me move my hair here, but I think it looks really nice with the rest of my makeup. I didn't have any, problems with it breaking up or getting, clinging onto a lot of my dry patches, which I really like. This one I feel like was easier to blend than the L'Oreal one. This one, again, it's not breaking apart. It's not really getting caught into any of my fine lines or any of my dry spots, which I really like. So I feel like this is just a really nice product to have if you want something more lightweight. I think it would be a great summer skin tint as well if you're wanting to just not wear a lot of makeup, even out your skin tone. The only thing I will say is that the NYX one does have a very heavy scent. So if that's something that bothers you, you're gonna hate this. I like it. It kind of reminds me of the Physicians Formula butter bronzers. It kind of smells a little bit like that, but again, some people don't like that, so that's one thing there. I'll continue to test both of these out and just see how they wear along the day. That's something I'm really interested to know as well, like do they even last? So excited to test that out, but off the bat, I think I would probably choose the NYX Butter Glaze instead of the L'Oreal Lumi, just because the Lumi is just a little too luminous for me and it was giving me a little bit of trouble clinging on to some of my dry spots. So right now for me, the winner is the NYX Buttermilk, but I'll give y'all an update later on in the month as I wear both of them more. I obviously want to see how they perform throughout the day, but first impressions, I think the NYX one wins for me. So let me know if you've picked up any of these products and how you're liking them or if you're wanting to pick them up. But I think that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.